It's Dr. Sonia here with Jump First. And today we're talking about forget what people think, you need to execute to learn, okay? Let's talk about it really quickly. I don't even have my mini mic with me. But anyway, if you don't know what we do here, we talk all things premium courses. So whether they be online or face-to-face, how to take your knowledge, wisdom, life experiences, package those things, turn them into the format of premium courses, luxury coaching, mentorship, brands, programs, so that you can get your message out to the world, because you are not supposed to stay what? You are not supposed to stay local. You are supposed to be global. So today's topic is forget what people think. All too often, the high performers especially are doing things or not doing things, which is exactly what this is about today. In order to, great morning, Clonette. Good to see you on. I'm excited to see my mentees. Can't wait to see you later to check in. But a lot of times our high performers, right? We're doing things or not doing things in fear of judgment. What are other people going to think? What are other people going to say? Here's the thing. I don't want to make a fool of myself, right? I'm online, especially online, social media. It gets real in these internet streets. And so it's like, oh my goodness. But here's the thing about it, right? You cannot properly learn anything until you start executing. You cannot properly learn anything until you start executing. We can talk all day long. And also, here's the other thing I want to put here too. Like, this is so important, especially when it comes to mentorship, coaching. And this is the reason why I tell my clients, I'm telling you as a pro tip for your premium courses, you are not responsible for student results. You are responsible for the outcomes you assign to your courses, because you cannot predict or determine anybody else's work ethic. Okay. So pro tip for your course, and that doesn't like alleviate you of the responsibility for creating the course. However, it does place the responsibility of your student results on your student. And it is true about everything in life, right? We have to take some responsibility. We can't just rely blindly on the instructions of anybody, mentors, parents, friends, close associates, like people that we look up to, we admire. You can't take everything, okay, that everybody says and blindly follow. Now, I do believe as you're going through courses, you are consuming mentorship programs and coaching programs, that you should follow the steps until you understand the recipe. So to put it like really clearly, my mom can tell me all day long. She has some amazing recipes, right? They always say nothing like mama's cooking. And so my mom can tell me all day long about a recipe or how to make something. But can I tell you something? When I get to making it, guess who's on my phone? My mama. Because I'm like, listen, mom, I have questions. What did you say do with when and how? She can send me the recipe. She can literally take a picture of her recipe or outline all of the steps and give them to me, okay, in a text message, an email, and I will still call her while I'm making the thing that I'm supposed to be preparing, because I want to make sure that I'm doing every single step right, that I'm following the recipe. And this is what I mean about executing. You cannot properly learn anything until you execute, until you do the thing. You got to get over the fear of judgment, fear of success, fear of failure, whatever your hang up is. And it's usually for a lot of high performers, I talked about this yesterday in a live, is usually fear of judgment. Okay, so go check out the yesterday's live where we go deeper about that. But it's usually, what are other people going to think? What are other people going to say? And those things stand in your way. You're standing in your own way, right? If you're allowing those things to consume you. Same thing with my dad, learning how to change a tire, learning how to change oil on a car growing up. We were outside, okay? Outside, me and my sisters outside. As he was teaching us, he goes, here's a tool. Here's the tool, puts it in your hand. You got to do it. It's not, you can't just watch somebody else do it. You can't just listen to what somebody else tells you to do. You have to do the thing. Once you start practicing the thing, like you start executing, you learn. Do you make mistakes along the way? Sure. Even with the help, like my mama on the phone walking me through the recipe, I can accidentally put in, a quarter of a tablespoon or teaspoon more than what I'm supposed to be putting in. Okay. So you can make mistakes along the way still, even with the instruction, even with the mentor, with the coach, with the guy being there. But then that becomes your story. That becomes lessons that you're able to teach from, right? Like, this is a beauty of life. And when you're a high performer, when you're somebody who is gifted, when you understand your purpose, you can walk in that thing and understand that you probably don't see life the same way as many other people. I actually just posted this on the other outlets, all the other socials. I'm going to post it here on YouTube when we hop off. But you probably see life a little differently. You probably see beauty in everything. People are like, why are you so positive? Right? How are you finding a lesson in everything? How are you finding wisdom in everything? It's your gift. It's your purpose. When you are convicted, right? And you are walking with the conviction of, I got to do this. I got to see this thing through. It doesn't matter who watches you fail or make a mistake or stumble, right? That none of that matters, because at the end of the day, guess who's going to be further along? And it's not about comparison, but it's about not paying attention to people who aren't even doing half of the work that you've been doing, half of the things that you've been putting in, half of the things that you know are required of your life to reach your purpose. It may seem like in the stumble, in the fail, in the lesson, right, that everybody else is further ahead, further along. But the wisdom that you take from those missed opportunities, or those not even missed opportunities, because you've taken the opportunities, but maybe like you missed the basket, right? You missed the bucket. I didn't take the screw off correctly when I was trying to change the tire, right? And I had to course correct, or like I said, I added too much baking powder and I was supposed to use baking soda, right? Whatever it is that you are doing, every single misstep, you take a lesson from, and you apply those lessons, because you keep going. Even if you fall, you get back up and you keep going. So when you look up, the people who had something to say in the first place, they are nowhere to be found, because they were only talking about it and you were actually living it. All right, that's the point. Execute in order to learn. Doesn't matter if you fall. Doesn't matter if you fail. Doesn't matter if they're all lessons. They're all things that will continue to move you forward. And so I know we know these things like inherently as high performers. They make logical sense to us, but sometimes we forget these things. And so I'm putting this reminder here, not just for you, whomever this is for, whoever it is helping and inspiring for right now, but I'm also putting it here for me, because I go back and I watch these, because sometimes, y'all, like I'm at points in my life sometimes where I need the additional encouragement, or to see, okay, here's where we were. And maybe sometimes we kind of go back there a little bit and we're like, oh no, we came from that already. We already did that. We're past that. We're moving on. All right. So I love you so much. I hope this inspires you forward. If you're interested in learning more about my mentorship programs, opportunities to teach what it is that you know, what things that you have learned from your wisdom, from your lessons, all right, from this life around you, go to jumpfirstacademy.org in order to get started. Okay, Clennette. Baking powder and baking soda, huge difference. I know, and I've made the mistake, but guess what? I've learned. I've learned what the difference is, and I've learned not to make that mistake again. So I appreciate you highlighting that, because that's exactly what the essence of this episode is all about. I appreciate you, Patsy. Thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. Sometimes, we gotta step outside the box real quick. What's going on? Seneca Bradley, hello. I'm doing well. Sending much love back to you also. Gregory, hello. I love interacting with you all. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for the positivity. Phenomenal 5537. What's going on? I appreciate that. Tamar, thank you. I appreciate y'all so much. Mo, thank you. Says you look beautiful. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for the positivity this morning. Again, check out jumpfirstacademy.org to learn more about taking your wisdom, life experiences, things that you know already, okay, from those mistakes that you made, the baking powder versus the baking soda. Look, right? I can't wait to talk to my mama this morning, but check that out, okay? Jumpfirstacademy.org to get started. And then if you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? This is a place of positivity, entrepreneurial tips, advice, life stuff, but also premium courses and how to teach what you know. Okay, that's very, very important for me, and I know that is part of my life's purpose. So hit the subscribe button, like button, bell notification, so you know when I'm live. I'm on here every weekday between 9 and 10 a.m. Eastern time for now. But if you hit that bell notification, you'll know exactly when I'm on live. I love hanging out with y'all, love interacting with y'all. Thank you so much for the likes this morning. I appreciate that. It helps us continue to spread this message globally. Also, thank you for the new subs, all right? And if you are not new here, welcome back, all right? Sending y'all much love. I'll check y'all back here tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Bye, y'all.